if you see a car that broke down on the freeway, and the person is just sitting outside, maybe looking at their phone, whatever, you assume automatically that that person is already getting help. But if you see someone changing a tire, pushing the car, trying to figure out what's going on with the hood and all of that, then you pull over and you help. Have you seen so many people that you see someone pushing the car and everybody just gets out of the car and starts pushing together? Is because when you see someone who's helping themselves, you are more likely to go and help them.
Shaking Angles, un espacio donde evaluamos el mundo desde diferentes ángulos. Welcome, Nancy. How are you? How are you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm really good. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you for taking the time to share your point of view, your angle with all us.
Of course, my pleasure. I'm excited.
Yeah. No, me too, because Nancy has so much to share with us. She's a psychologist, but she's also a holistic coach. And today we're going to be talking more about holistic coaching and how all her techniques can help us.
Cool. Awesome. So I'm a retired psychologist. I practiced for, I want to say maybe like 12 years, and I've transitioned now into holistic coaching. And coaching is different than psychology, because in psychology you look at a lot of your past and a lot of your symptoms to describe a diagnosis. And in coaching, you look at the present moment into the future, and you sort of use skills and techniques to help you move forward. And so it's there's a subtle difference, but also very important. And so now I'm dedicating myself to completely doing coaching.
And you understand deeply how our mind works.
Yes. And how our mind and our body and spirit is all connected. I think that for me, moving towards holistic life coaching is helping people integrate body, mind, spirit, because sometimes we separate, sometimes we are all thinkers and that's all we do. We are in our heads constantly, and we forget to tune into this vessel that communicates with us all the time, what's right, what's wrong, what's good for us, what's not good for us. And then when we're able to actually tune into ourselves and like really connect with our mind and our heart and our stomach and our bodies, then we can connect with other people. If we're not connecting with ourselves, we are disconnected from the world. And so I help people sort of align body, mind, spirit, word, thoughts, actions in alignment. And so
that's the first thing, connecting with ourselves. And when you said connecting with ourselves, do you mention mind, body, and spirit, right?
Yes.
So yes. It's everything. So how, if I disconnected with myself, or I don't know how it works, what would you suggest me to start or reconnect with myself?
The first thing is to pause. Because we are in such an autopilot. We're doing without thinking. And we're not pausing to listen, to maybe consider things, to maybe contemplate. And if we can take a moment to, I'm not saying start meditation, which I would suggest you do, yes. But if it's something that you're brand new to everything, what I would say is maybe spend 10 minutes just not thinking about anything, nothing in particular, just like sort of try to clear your mind and try to just be present. And spend those 10 minutes not on your phone, not worrying about the future, not reminiscing the past or worrying about the past, but just being present with your breath, noticing. I'm breathing.
So difficult nowadays, right? Because we are in a very busy life and we are all day overwhelmed with all the information that we are receiving from everywhere, work, kids, family. So
We're inundated.
yeah. So of course, meditation would be a really good technique. But if I'm in this busy life, I guess, well, what one way could be, I don't know, taking the time to just think.
Yes. Yes. So let's say that you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, what time is it? And you grab your phone to look at the time and then you start scrolling. Pause. Don't. Don't look at your phone right away. Just maybe set up an alarm so you know what time it is. Like, oh, okay, 7 o'clock. Turn it off and just spend one moment, 5 minutes, sitting in bed, appreciating, thinking,
Okay.
wow, I'm so grateful I can breathe. Wow. So many people that are intubated, so many people that have, trachea operations, so many people that cannot breathe fully. And I get to
I
breathe.
get to. How
Ooh,
powerful that. I get
I
to.
get to. And so with 5 minutes of appreciation, you pause. You pause and you start your day from that moment of appreciation. And then you can grab your phone if you want, but just start your day not from news or comparison or like
Mm,
looking at what everybody else is doing, but start your day with appreciation, with gratitude.
a
Some
moment
people
for.
use journals. Yeah. And they write 3 things they're grateful for. Um, I'm not too crazy about just writing 3 things I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for the sun, I'm grateful for my breath and my pillow. And bye. No, it's more like feeling it, like really appreciating, like filling yourself up with this immense gratitude for what you get to have, you get to be, for what you get to do, for who you are. So
You have
that,
mentioned the most important thing, that is truly feeling it. Because
yes.
there is a difference in just writing something or doing something, or, oh yeah, I'm grateful for the sun, I'm breathing. But if in reality we're not feeling it, we're not meaning that,
Hmm.
we don't have the actual benefit out of it.
Exactly.
This
It's
morning,
mental instead of feeling it in your body and your emotions,
yeah,
integrating
that's
it.
right, like in every cell. You remind me about something. This morning I was taking a shower and I was thinking in my gray hair. And I thought, oh my God, I'm turning 36 this year. And I
You're
was
so
thinking, I'm
young.
getting old. And then at some point, I realized, like, I get to turn 36.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm so grateful. I mean, it's a difference. Everything switched from that moment when I realized that I was so lucky to get
Hmm.
to enjoy this.
Yes. Yes. And the feeling is integrated into your body. When you are thinking it, then you really don't vibrate it. You're just keeping it here in your thoughts. I'm grateful that I get to take a shower. I'm grateful that I get to turn 36 and whatever. But when you are deeply feeling it, what you're doing is you are integrating your body and integrating spirit into it, your spirituality, everything is just there together. And that's what I encourage people to do as you are doing any practice, feel it with all of your senses and tune in, with spirit, with the universe, whatever you believe in, nature. It doesn't matter. You don't have to believe in God or the universe. You can believe in nature, or the earth is going around somehow without your assistance. So it must be something magical there. So whatever you believe in, just tune into that, something that has your back.
And do you think that when we have that energy, when we're actually feeling that, is when we actually can attract those things that we want, or the good energy? I
Yes.
was just picturing those days when I don't know, for some reason I just wake up feeling odd, and then everything starts falling down in that day, like everything goes wrong.
Mm-hmm.
How it comes? How
Yeah.
is everything aligned? How is that all? I mean,
Yeah.
it's
It's kind of like
unbelievable.
like you woke up from with your left foot or something like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Totally. Um, there is the woo-woo explanation, fantastical whatever, but there's also the scientific information. And so I want to share with you the scientific explanation for why it seems like we wake up and then we manifest or create our reality.
Mhm.
Um, a lot of people think, well, I didn't manifest the person at the coffee shop to be mean to me, you know, and what I would like to challenge is your perception. So in the brain, we have um, the reticular activating system, which serves as a filter for the information that we perceive. Right now, at this moment, you are listening to us. You are listening to our accents. You're listening to the sounds around you. And if you are looking at this on video, you are probably seeing us, seeing, the way that we're dressed, our hair, whatever, you're perceiving all of that. And in your home too, whatever you're looking at in your skin, what you're feeling, the clothes, the sudden sounds. So right now, all of your senses, what you smell, what you taste, what you hear, what you feel, you are perceiving 11 million bits of information per second,
Mhm.
per second. And so if you are perceiving all of that, how can you concentrate on what we're saying? And it's because the reticular activating system is in charge of filtering and saying, I'm going to take 40 bits, not 11 million, 40 bits of information, and I'm going to focus on those. And this better be interesting or exciting or something that I have to be careful about. So, for example, you're talking to a friend you're in the middle of the street or whatever in a corner street corner, and you're talking to a friend and you're just having the great time and like, yeah, did you see what happened? And all of a sudden you hear a screech of a car. Conversation stops and all of your attention goes to that. You were aware that there were cars passing by. You were aware there was a truck and another car and a motorcycle. Your brain was aware of everything. But in that moment, it had to focus on the car screeching because that was for safety. That was
Okay.
important. So your brain said, I'm sorry, what you're saying is not important right now. What's really important is that car coming towards us. So I need to pay attention to that. And then
That was the
forgets.
priority.
Yes. And it forgets to look at everything else. Like it says, like, oh, how is my shirt feeling? Am I hot or cold? It doesn't matter. In that moment, that information is what's important.
Okay.
And so, what dictates what's important? We do. Our belief
How?
systems.
Okay.
We decide what's important. So, for example, if I'm a person that curses all the time,
Okay.
I don't care if I'm cursing. But if I'm a person that prefers that no one ever curses, to me, it's important that someone doesn't curse. I will pay more attention when someone is cursing. If
Okay.
if I believe that people are out to get me, I will pay attention to
Oh my
every single
God.
time someone is out to get me because I'm deciding that's important.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then all of the times when people are kind, when they leave the door open for you, when they smile at you, I'm sorry. I need only 40 bits of information. And right now, what's important for me is looking out for danger, for people that are out to get me. And so I am going to mute everybody
Everything
else.
else. So it's basically that we're muting kindness, love. We are focusing in the mean things or things that we don't like, but
Mhm.
we are actually, oh my God, that's unbelievable.
Yeah. And so it's not so much, oh, the way that I think, because I could think, oh yeah, I'm a good person. Yay. I'm a good person.
Mm,
But if I don't feel it, if I
mhm.
don't believe it, that's false. And it's not going to resonate. If I am thinking, yeah, everybody's nice to me, but I'm thinking of all of the times people were not nice to me, all of the times when I got
Okay.
hurt.
In the background, the information is there.
Correct.
You know,
It's like dating, right? Somebody
yeah,
cheated on you and you're like, oh no, I'm going to go into this relationship trusting. And then you're going to be looking out for like,
and you
is he
are
cheating now?
fearing.
Is she cheating now? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so
You,
guess what? You create that scenario. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
and
I
what
keep
about,
interrupting.
no, it's okay, because actually it's very important what you're saying. And you remind me about a while ago, actually, before starting the podcast, I thought I knew that failure was part of the success. And I knew that I was going to fail and I don't mind failing. And I was saying that consciously when I was talking, but I realized that I was postponing releasing the podcast and postponing, like I was finding excuses like, oh no, I don't have this and I don't have that. And at some point I said, like, why I haven't solved it and why I haven't released it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started having that honest conversation with me, with myself, I realized that I was fearing that I was going to fail. Like, and even I realized that I was conscious already, like I didn't want it to fail. It's unbelievable how I was still creating excuses and I had to push myself so bad. Like I felt like I wanted to even cry because of
Yeah,
the fear. um
totally.
so it was like, and I realized at that moment that consciously I thought I knew it, but in the
Mm-hmm.
background, I was still doing the same.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. It's kind of like when people say, um, I I want $1 million. Why do you want $1 million? Because you believe that $1 million is going to make you feel a certain way. But why do you want that money? Is because you don't have it.
Mhm.
So what's the focus? The focus is I don't have money. That's the focus.
Okay. Okay.
And so the whole energy is I don't have money, therefore I want money. I don't have this. I don't have a loved one. I don't have a house. I don't have this. I want a boyfriend. I want money. I want a house. And so the focus is not on necessarily what you want, it's what you lack.
Okay. Okay.
And so when you are thinking, let's take the example of money. When you're thinking, I just want a lot of money. Why? Because I want to be able to make choices. I want to be able to feel at ease and free. And so instead of focusing on money will give me this, find ways to feel at ease, find
Okay.
ways to feel free.
To leave it. Okay.
So you're not dependent on money to give you that. You are already feeling that, and money just matches that.
Okay.
Not just money, but travels or whatever, a partner or whatever you want, health. But it's about you resonating with that first so you match that vibration. If you are thinking, I I am okay and I love the world and I love me and I am kindness. And so you go out and you go get a cup of coffee, you are vibrating that. Guess what? People are going to resonate with that. And people are going to smile at you and people are going to open the door and they're going to give you a free coffee or whatever it is because you are resonating that. You are
Okay.
kindness walking. And so being that is the most important thing. It's not thinking it, it's not acting it, it's being kindness, being wealth, being ease. And so imagine you are feeling kind and you see someone and you hold the door and the person smiles and appreciates it, and you
Ah,
feel
nice.
good, and it's just like
Yeah,
it's just this whole
attracts.
exchange.
Yeah,
Totally.
it's beautiful.
Exactly.
So, do you think? Well, I think I have so many things to tell you, but let's start saying, if I want to shift that thought, that the way how I think, um, well, one thing could be visualization, or how can we shift and how can we start feeling it, believing in that when we don't have it yet?
Hmm.
Because that's, I guess that's the issue. We tend to believe in what we see, and if we don't see it, so then it gets very difficult.
Yes. Yeah. And that's why starting with appreciation, it's a really good technique, because when you notice what you do have, wow, I have a phone. Do you know how many people don't have phones? How hard it is to find a phone, to buy it, how
Mm,
expensive it is for so many people. And so to have that sense of appreciation, that's when you start shifting. And it may
okay.
not be that, perhaps you don't have a car, you know, and you have to take the bus to go places or whatever, but you have feet.
Yeah,
So
we get
start with
more.
that. Start with the sense of appreciation and feeling the gratitude and the abundance that you already have. I am abundant. I am healthy. Do you know how many people are so sick? You know, I am I'm able to read the signs. I have eyes. I am so abundant. I have my friends. I have this. I have that. I have air to breathe. Even if
Mhm.
you are in the worst case scenario possible, you have the earth supporting you.
Yeah, I always think we all have a lot of things to be grateful for. And even if someone is listening to this and you are sick, look, the fact that you might have someone around you, the fact that you have a bed, the fact that you have a health system that is supporting you, the fact that you can feel your body, the fact we are lucky still that we could be feeling pain, because that help us on appreciating the good moments that you have lived and the good moments that you will live.
Yes. And I know that it can be discouraging when your situation is so bad that you can't find anything to be grateful for. And it's difficult. I do have to say, when you are in such a dire situation, it's very difficult to find things to be grateful for. And
Yeah.
so in that moment, you can't lie to yourself, because what you're doing is saying like, yeah, I'm happy. And you're smiling like a fake smile, but your body's not resonating with it. And so in that moment, what I would say is focus on giving, focus on someone else. Someone, let's say that I'm just
Okay.
going to put a really bad scenario, but like, let's say you're in the hospital bed and things are going wrong. How can you find anything to be grateful for? Perhaps you can look at the nurse and say, I'm grateful that she stayed tonight.
Mm.
Or perhaps you can tell the nurse, listen, you have great eyebrows. you know um Anything that you can uplift another person, because when you are helping another one, it takes momentarily the focus on off of what's wrong with you, and how can you still give,
Oh
even
my
if
God,
it's a
that's
compliment, you know and that takes a break from, look at all of these things are wrong with me, and let me give from my love, my heart, my energy.
and how beautiful that energy when we give, for example, saying how beautiful your eyebrows are, something that you mean, like something that we actually are feeling. Usually the reaction of the another person with a smile, with a good moment, that energy just comes back.
Totally.
It's
Totally.
it's beautiful. I mean, I haven't been in that situation, but I love when I recognize someone. Oh, how beautiful you are today, or you have this, you have
Yes.
done it like so good. That usually the
Yeah.
face of people when they are recognized is
Yes.
beautiful.
And I would like to encourage everybody to do this exercise. I want you to pick one thing that you would like to do for another person, an act of kindness. One act of kindness. And it could be as simple as you bake a cake and you give it to your neighbor. Or you see your coworker and you tell your coworker, hey, good job on what you're doing. And notice how amazing it feels to give. You feel just so re-energized. Like if you're tired, go give someone something. Do an act of kindness, and you're going to see energy just coming from nowhere. You're going to be like, I don't know, I'm just so excited. You know, this person was just like this, and I did this, and I just feel so good about it. I promise you, giving is such a beautiful act of receiving as well. The more you give, the more you'll receive.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, and I
Mm.
would love to hear a little bit more. I mean, if you take any action, any act, please let us know how it goes,
Yes.
how you feel.
Yes.
And I will take on that. I
Awesome.
would definitely
Awesome.
do it.
Yeah. So I'm encouraging everybody to do one challenge where you do something fantastic, amazing, one act of kindness for someone. It doesn't have to be a stranger, which will be great, but it can be someone in your own home, you know? So let's do this.
Let's do it.
I'm
Um,
drinking my turmeric tea, which doesn't have any ice anymore, but it's okay.
oh, looks
Mm,
fantastic. Turmeric tea. I want to
mhm.
try.
It's good for inflammation and etc. So really
I
good.
will. I will try. Nancy, one of the things, the first thing that I heard from Nancy, when she was on Instagram, it was helping yourself, how to
Yes.
help ourselves. And I wanted to ask you, I mean, if you want to talk us about what you read before, or the anecdote in regards of
Mm.
helping ourselves.
Yes, 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 yes. So the Instagram post was about no one can help you unless you help yourself. And I was listening to a podcast where this person was explaining how if you see a car that broke down on the freeway and the person is just sitting outside, maybe looking at their phone, whatever, you assume automatically that that person is already getting help. But if you see someone changing a tire, pushing the car, you know, trying to figure out what's going on with the hood and all of that, then you pull over and you help. You know, have you seen so many people that you see someone
Mhm.
pushing the car and everybody just gets out of the car and starts pushing together? Is because when you see someone who's helping themselves, you are more likely to go and help them versus when you see someone who's just like, I'm just gonna wait to be saved. And so there's
Mhm.
no magic wand, like I said in the little post. There's no magic wand. There's no one is gonna come and save you. No one's gonna come in and just solve all of your problems. Because the truth is that you have to matter to yourself first. If
Yes.
you don't matter to yourself, then it doesn't matter to anyone. No one can. I'm telling you, I have seen so many people receive so much help, financial help, physical help, emotional help, and because they're not helping themselves, that goes in and out. They
Mhm.
don't accept it. They don't take it, or they don't use it in a way that is helpful for them, you know? So you helping yourself is a way of saying, I deserve help, you know?
How can we recognize that we are not helping ourselves?
Mm. When we blame other people,
Okay.
yes. So if you notice that you are blaming the system, blaming the world, blaming your spouse, blaming your kids, blaming your family, whatever, your parents, if you notice that you're blaming other people, then you're not taking responsibility for your
Okay.
part.
Okay.
This is an exchange of energy, an exchange of actions. You don't live alone in a cave and, don't affect people. You affect people. And so for you, it's important to to realize that you have to take responsibility for your part as well and do what you need to do to say, okay, I'm noticing that this person, this one, and this one, and this one, and this one are treating me about the same. What's the common denominator? Moi. It's me.
Wow.
And so I need to figure out, why is it that I'm getting these reactions? It's like, I don't know, this person at the coffee shop was so mad. And then I went to park the car and this person was mad too. And then I went to talk to my boss. My boss was mad. Wait a minute. Hello. Is it
Okay.
what I'm vibrating? Is it what I'm thinking? Everybody's out to get me? It's me. So recognizing first how you're creating your environment, how you're creating your life, and recognizing that you are the co-creator.
Yeah.
You are not this passive observer. You co-create this reality.
And sometimes we might think this is, like something mystic, magic, but in reality, it's not. I think we all recognize energy, and energy, what I mean with energy, we recognize the mood, we recognize the attitude of the another person, even though we don't do it consciously.
Totally.
Naturally, we react. We feel
Yes.
it and we react. And
Totally.
it's unbelievable how the energy, because at the end it's kind of earned energy. Like not even saying a word is required to feel the others per energy.
Totally. There are so many studies on this. I don't know if you ever walked into a room full of people and you felt like the vibe was off. You're like, I don't
Yeah.
like the vibe in this room. That's the energy. I don't know if you've seen plants. There's been tons of research on that and studies where the plant is growing and you are screaming at the plant and just mistreating it. Sure, you can water, it has sun and whatever, but the plant wilts. And you see another plant where you are feeding it love and saying, wow, you're so beautiful, and giving that energy, that plant flourishes. And so that energy, it's real, that when someone comes at you, they like you said, they may not say anything. What are you doing? and you feel like, whoa, what is that? I felt like I just got punched in the face because the energy that they project. And so energy is just this floating ether thing that is creating an exchange between us, all of us. And so being aware of that is being aware of you, is being aware of how you conduct yourself, what you're feeling, how you're projecting yourself, so being aware of your energy is super, super important.
Yes, it is. Look, I didn't know. For me, like sometimes in some groups, I would be like very quiet, like a that shy person, and I wouldn't be aware, or I didn't know why it was like that. And in a different group, I was like the most natural person, the fun, like making jokes, and knowing that at the end is the energy that we sense, that we might feel comfortable to be someone or not.
Correct. Yes. And the energy goes from inside out. If you don't know yourself, you may feel off and you don't know what it is. And you're like, I don't know what's going on. I just feel moody. Wah, 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 wah. So getting to know yourself is the most important tool that you can have in the entire universe. Knowing yourself means that you check with you and you say, wait, how am I feeling? Am I hungry? Am I tired? Have I exercised? Have I slept enough? Am I on my period? Or is my period coming? You start noticing what's happening at the body level. And then you ask the next level, how am I feeling emotionally or mentally? Did I watch a movie that made me feel sad? Did I talk to someone that I felt like off? Did I feel like I have some thoughts of the past that are worrying me?
Okay.
Am I anxious about something that is coming in the future?
Or is
And
there
then once
any
you,
special date that might,
right, exactly. Is
make
there
us
an anniversary
sad?
of something that is like going to affect me in a certain way. And then you start expanding that even more to how are you relating to the world, what's happening in the world in general, but also at the spiritual level. Like, am I connecting to this vibe that makes me feel off? And so connecting to yourself means that you can connect to the energies around you, to your body, to the etheric body, to everybody, connecting to your emotional body, mental body, all of that. And so once you are able to recognize that, then you can say, I was feeling off is because I was in this room and the energy was off and I picked up some of that energy. But if you don't recognize that perhaps you didn't sleep well and you're hungry, you're going to get your period, and you're making that scenario the cause of your offness, then that's not congruent. You can be like, oh, I'm not going to hang out with them. When in reality, it's like you didn't sleep enough. And so when you take care of you and you notice you first, then you can be clearly perceptive of everything around you and your surroundings.
It's amazing how we have spoken about a lot of things and we have come back to the same point where we started, connection with ourselves.
Yes. Yes.
Wow,
yes.
Nancy.
Yes.
I love it. Nancy, what would be the takeaway, the most important? There could be 2, 3 that you would like us to take from this conversation or from today, something that you would like to take from your world to our world.
Yes. If you could focus on one thing, it would be how to love you, how to love yourself.
Okay.
And to love yourself, you have to get to know yourself, your shadows and your light, the things that you don't like. And so I would like to say that liking you or being okay with you when you're not at your best is an important way of accepting who you are and really noticing who you are. So let's say that you are feeling emotional, and being okay with feeling emotional because you recognize that your body's just talking to you. Your body's saying, I need something. And so the moment that you can connect and be okay with that, then you can feel at ease, even in the discomfort. Then the next piece is when you accept yourself and nourish yourself, then listen to your body. Your body talks all the time. And so it's telling you when you should go, when you should not go. And this is the way to develop your intuition. This is the next level. So what I'm doing here is body, mind, spirit. Connect to your body, connect to your mind and your emotions, and connect to your intuition. So that's my 3 takeaways.
I love them.
My
very
pleasure.
Powerful. Very powerful. Thank you very much, Nancy, for taking the time sharing with this. We really hope that you have enjoyed this conversation. And I'll be sharing Nancy's social media to connect with her. And please, you have to share with us the name of the podcast. I'll be excited to hear more about this because I know that you both will have very important information to share with all of us. So I'll be looking forward.
Yeah. I'll share the podcast, and also I'll give you a link to where you can look at the package box that for the ease and flow to reconnect you. So if people are interested, they can.
No, we absolutely need that. So I'll be sharing that as well with all of you. Thank you once again for being here, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you for having me.